Why is it that when we're talking about aging, especially in women, it's always framed as decline, loss, or something to fear? What if I told you that aging is not only a privilege, but one of the most powerful and liberating phases of life? I don't want to age gracefully. As a matter of fact, I hate that phrase. I want laugh lines that prove I've lived fully. I want silver strands in my hair that reflect my resilience, and I refuse to play by society's impossible rules of what a woman should look like. This, my friend, is the era of the wise woman, a time to embrace aging, step into our confidence, and celebrate the wisdom we've earned along the way. In today's episodes, I'm sharing 5 empowering steps to help you thrive in your wise woman phase and why this chapter just might be your most powerful one yet. Let's get into it. You're listening to the Soul Aligned Self-Care Podcast. I'm your host, Tina Stinson, and I had a stroke at the age of 39 from stress and burnout that shook my world. Now I'm laying it all out, the deep level self-care practices and mindset shifts that I needed that kept me healthy, balanced, and thriving. Join me in this intimate space as we explore healing, resilience, and the soul's journey to alignment. This is where real conversations about deep-level self-care happen. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to the Soul Aligned Self-Care Podcast. I'm so excited about today's topic, or I should say passionate about it. And I've been wanting to talk about this more on the podcast, but I just wanted to really come up with some different ways to help empower you during this time in your life. So as I said in the intro, something that really irritates me, but also I want to make a point that this needs to be redefined, is aging, especially in women. It's often framed as decline or loss. I mean, think about it. We look at men and we see how people in society talk about men as they age, and it's completely different than the way they talk about women. As a matter of fact, most women talk about feeling invisible, and I don't really feel invisible, but I also think I like being invisible. I don't like getting a lot of attention, especially by men, and so maybe that's why I don't notice it too much. But another thing I notice as I get older is that it's a privilege to get older, and it's wonderful, and I'm more comfortable in my body, I'm more confident, and I just feel so much more sure of myself in every way. I have knowledge, I have wisdom, and I'm always open to learning more. So it's not that I'm closed off to learning now that I'm older. I feel more powerful than ever. It actually feels like the ultimate opportunity. Every line in my face, every strand of my gray hair, every shift in energy is a symbol of our lived experience, our resilience, and our growing wisdom. And this is my era of the wise woman. And I'm sure a lot of you listening today can feel that in some way, shape, or form, or it's coming at some point. But it's a time to really embrace yourself, step into your power, all the power that it's almost like you've created all this, the wisdom, the experience, and celebrate that. There's so much depth to it and so much beauty. And once again, a phrase that I really hate is aging gracefully. And what does that mean? Okay. Because when I reach the finish line, I just want to be all used up. I always talk to my kids. I'm like, I just want to be covered in tattoos and all wrinkly and crazy looking. I just want to look like I lived, you know what I mean? I just don't want to be preserved perfectly so that I look good when I die. I mean, what's the point of that? I'm here to live my life, not look good for others. And of course I want to look good. I do care about the way I look, and I take very good care of myself. But as far as fitting myself into that extremely impossible box that society has created for women of all ages, our whole lives, fuck that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not playing that game. I'm just not. I'm creating what feels good to me. I want to look good. But it's for me, it's not for anybody else. And so I'm not going to let anybody else define that. Excuse me. I am still losing my voice. Can you believe that? I have a lozenge, I have a drink. So hold on a minute. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. I have some tea. So I remember in 2019 when I first started letting my hair go gray, I posted a picture on Instagram. And I have to say, most of the comments were so supportive. There were so many women who were like, oh, I wish I could do that. And, I basically was like, in my head, I didn't say this out loud, but I was like, you could do whatever you want. But so many women feel so like, oh, God, so pressured to look a certain way that they don't want to do that. It's just too disruptive for them. And I completely get that. But there was one comment that stood out. And she said, she started with the comment, it looks really good on you. But, there's always that but. If you dyed your hair, you would look 10 years younger. And I really thought about this response because it's really, I don't know how else to put this, but it's just really fucked up. Like, why do I need to look 10 years younger? I am the age I am, even if I looked older than the age I am. Like, who cares? Why do I need to look younger? Do I want like the gaze of younger men? Ew, no, absolutely not. Like, I don't even want the gaze of men my age sometimes. Like, it's just actually annoying. And so I guess ask yourself, why do we need to look younger? It's like that expectation that we're supposed to be perfectly preserved, like freaking pickles, right? So now I know it is like a societal expectation, but personally, when I really think about it, I just don't care. Like I said earlier, I like to look good, but looking good is defined by me. I take great care of myself, but the care that I take care of myself isn't just about looks. It's about being really, really healthy as I age. I don't want to get weak. I don't want to get, I don't want to not be able to do things because I'm older. So as we get older, as a lot of you probably know, it's almost like you have to work twice as hard to just sustain that, that feeling of strength and that ability to do the things that you always wanted, you want to keep doing. It's like you have to like work at it a little bit. It came naturally to you. Like I didn't feel it probably until my mid-50s, probably until I went through menopause, where I felt like my body was slowing down a little bit and I had to work so much harder to gain muscle or just to even stay toned, right? That's when I started noticing it. But I don't need to look younger. As I said, it's a privilege to be my age, and I really hope that I get to keep going, So I do understand why women think they can't embrace this, but I think the world is changing, and I think women are starting to redefine aging, and instead of fearing it, they're embracing it because damn, it feels so good. Like stepping fully into your confidence, being comfortable in your body, like not like you run out of fucks to give. You really, really do. There's a little club on TikTok. I think it's the Do Not Care Club. It's called or something like that. Definitely look it up. It's hilarious. But it's a bunch of women who are like, I just don't care about any of this stuff. And they list all these things and it's so funny. But it's true. You really don't care, I want to be comfortable, but I want to look good, but I want to be I just want to expand into my comfort. And those of you who are in the same place as me know what I mean by that. So today I want to share with you 5 empowering practices that help you thrive in this phase of your life. And they're very simple, and pretty obvious, some of them I would say, but so important. And I want to add why supporting fellow women amplifies everyone growth at the end. I'm going to talk about why that amplifies everyone. And I want to emphasize that we need to be our own best friends. Like we need to support each other as women. We have so many people telling us that we have to look a certain way, be a certain way, and none of it's positive. And it starts at like 10 years old, for crying out loud, where we're almost programmed to think that we can't do the same things that boys can do, right? It's just the way we're treated, the way we're talked to. And I know that's shifting, and thank God it's shifting. But we really, really, really need to be our own cheerleaders. Like, for crying out loud, don't go on social media and start judging someone by the way they look. Like, don't make comment. If you have nothing good to say, just follow that rule. Don't say anything at all. Like, and I tell myself this all the time. I see somebody maybe talking about a certain diet or something like that, and I'm like, oh my God, that's not good for you. Like, and I just go, like, I'm ready to start typing, and I'm like, ooh, Tina, don't be that person. Don't be that person, because maybe that diet works for her, because, and it might have done wonderful things for her, and that's none of my business, right? So it's like, do not, like, if you don't have anything good to say, you don't have anything good to add, then say nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? We need to support each other as women. So the first thing I want to talk about is celebrate your natural beauty. And there's a little bit of a sidestep to this also, and I'll share that with you. But embrace yourself, embrace your wise woman phase, honor your natural appearance. Like, if you're ready for that, embrace your gray hair. I did it, and it was the best thing I did. My hair is healthier because I stopped dyeing it. I was beginning to think about the effects of the hair dye, on my skin, and doing it for so many years. What effect does that have on my body? These are things you think about when you get older and you don't think about when you're younger. But, embrace your laugh lines. It means you're happy, right? Even embrace those, what they call them, the 11 lines because you've gone through some shit, right? You want to live your life fully. We're going to go through some shit. You're going to have the good times and the bad times. You have to have one to have the other, right? So also embrace those subtle changes in your body. It's when it first started, like, all those changes started to happen to me, it made me feel like I didn't know myself anymore. But when I thought of it as like what a butterfly goes through when it transforms into a butterfly, it's like a completely different being, right? And that's exactly how I feel right now. I feel like a completely different being than I was in my 40s. These aren't signs of decline. They're just markers of your journey and your lived experience. They're just the natural changes that we go through as we get older. And choosing to embrace these changes is an act of empowerment and self-love. Now, this is the little sidestep I want to make. I want to add this. If you want to dye your hair and you want to do other things to make yourself feel good, like Botox injections and plastic surgery, go for it. But don't do it for a man, or don't do it to be accepted by society. Do it for you. Do it to make yourself feel good. Like, I've definitely had conversations with my friends, and they're like, what would be an acceptable plastic surgery for you to do? Okay. So just let me, kind of divulge. I am such a chicken shit, and I don't like any type of surgery. Okay, so that's like number one main reason why I don't like to participate in any of that, including sticking needles in my face and stuff. I'm terrified of that. So I've never done any of that. But it's not because I didn't think about it. Like, so like people ask me, what would be a procedure that you would do? Okay, so like if I had to pick one part of myself that I didn't like, it would be my neck. I have like a flabby turkey neck type of thing. But, there's a part of me that's like, I'm not going to like, it doesn't bother me enough to have surgery, and I'm just going to embrace it because I'm not 20 anymore. Like I'm on the other side of like late 50s, right? And so it's like, okay, I'm going to look old. There's nothing I can do to stop it. So I'd rather spend that money on like a vacation or something. If that makes sense. So I don't want you to take, when I talk about celebrating your natural beauty and how it's important, the reason why I bring this up isn't to like shame women who like to do all the things. Absolutely not. You need to do it for yourself though, right? I bring this up because it's okay, and it should be okay for us to look our age as we get older. And if you're comfortable with embracing it, go for it. I feel pretty comfortable. I love how there's more women like in like the, celebrities and stuff like that. I'm not a big celebrity person, but like Sarah Jessica Parker, Andy McDowell, oh man, I'm trying to think of some other women. I think Meryl Streep like has let her hair go a little gray. I don't know. There's so many. There's a lot of women now, and I think a lot of them. Andy McDowell, she's absolutely gorgeous. She just wears it so well. But like, if you're feeling it, do it. If not, like, do what makes you feel good inside, and don't let the pressures of society or anyone else make you do it for any other reason. So a little tip in this area: try little subtle self-care rituals like hair masks, skincare routines, styling your gray hair in ways that feels authentic. It's not about hiding your age, it's about highlighting your inner radiance, right? So like, I love the way my gray hair looks when it's really long. And I love that I have like a salt and pepper kind of thing going. And I like making like the hair that's not gray darker and the hair that's gray like grayer. And so using like a hair mask that does that makes it look really, really cool and even more dramatic. So I love doing that. So yeah, try different things that really embrace your age, but also make you feel really good and beautiful. Number 2, cultivate mindfulness and self-compassion. This is so important because as we age, it just brings so many shifts in energy. Holy crap, my energy is completely different. Your mood, your physical strength, mindfulness practices like meditation. I'm going to give a shout out to Yoga Nidra because I'm becoming a guide right now. I'm getting certified as a guide, and it's been absolutely game changing for me during menopause with my sleep. I started doing it to help me sleep, but you get so much more out of it than you realize. And I'll talk more about that at another time, but that is just one of the practices. So if you have trouble sleeping, in the show notes, I'll put a link to one of my teacher's practices because I'm not creating those recordings yet so that you could try it out. But amazing for deep rest. They call it deep rest, non-sleep deep rest. So like NSDR. And it definitely changed my days. So when I have those nights when I couldn't sleep at all, I would do a Yoga Nidra practice during the day just to help me almost like get through the day. I would do it in the afternoon instead of the cup of coffee. You know what I mean? Or both. Have the cup of coffee, do a Yoga Nidra, and then afterwards you're like a new woman. But anyway, moving on with mindfulness practices like journaling, breath work, also game changing for me. They help you navigate these changes with confidence and clarity. So supportive. So when you respond to your body and mind with self-compassion, you create that space to really, truly, fully honor yourself. Don't judge yourself for not being the same person you were when you were in your 20s. Create a space that supports you where you are right now, where you can create a space where you feel loved, supported, and you can thrive. Because beating yourself up does not help anyone. So I like to say shift with the knowledge of your body. So as we age, we need different things. Different workouts serve us at different times in our lives. So listen to the knowledge of your body and give it what it needs at this time. Honor yourself. That is one of the best forms of self-love that you could do for yourself. So a tip: spend 5 to 10 minutes each morning reflecting on like gratitude, setting an intention for the day. And that intention could be so simple. Like it could just be like, I'm going to allow myself to rest today. I'm going to just do some things that bring me joy. Like it doesn't have to be like some big goal. Simple daily rituals help you maintain your well-being, your inner radiance, and it helps you feel aligned with yourself. So ritual. I'm going to keep saying that because when you create rituals for yourself, it's so supportive. Okay, number 3, prioritize your physical health. This has also been something that I've been really, really, really focused on, especially right now. Your body is your most loyal companion, and maintaining your vitality and strength is essential for embracing your wise woman era. We want to feel good and we want to feel strong, right? So movement, nutrition, and rest are pillars. So important for us as we move forward. So, strength training is so important. I'm sure you've heard that. Everybody says it. It's good for your bones. We're losing so much muscle mass. We want to be independent as we get older. We want to stay independent. I want to stay independent until I'm dead. Okay. I always tell my kids, if you see me like die during like a run uphill or something like that, just know that I was happy and don't be sad, because I want to die being capable. Okay. So that is one of my goals. So I really focus on tuning into knowledge of my body again. I might have, I do strength training 3 times a week. I might wake up one morning and just feel so freaking tired. Like maybe I had a stressful day the day before. Maybe I didn't sleep well, whatever it is. I'm not going to do that strength training that day because I know I'm not going to have good form. I know it's going to make me feel shitty. So maybe I'll just do a gentle yoga class and a yoga nidra, and then I'll schedule that workout for another day. Okay. So it's like, listen to the body. So strength training, I focus on. I definitely do yoga almost every day. And daily walks help boost energy. They help keep you balanced. It's just good for your overall health. It's good to get outside as much as you can. So I've shifted so much in all of these areas. I used to be such a hardcore workout person. I used to run 20 miles a week, sometimes more. I used to do CrossFit, for crying out loud. So I feel like I went through this metamorphosis, and now I'm like this amazing butterfly that needs so many different things, right? And I'm giving myself what I know is good for me, and also what I know feeds my soul and supports my body. So I'm a new person. I've changed into a new person. So I had to shift to accommodate this new version of me. And I'm not unhappy about it. Because once again, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm 50. I'm going to be 57 in a month. And so supporting myself and making myself feel good in that position and not judging myself and making myself feel like I'm less than is so important. But prioritize your nutrition and your health. Tip: focus on what feels good, not what looks perfect. Aging is about functionality, joy, empowerment, and not perfection, okay? Listen to the knowledge of the body. Okay, number 4, nurture meaningful relationships. I definitely not that I struggle nurturing my relationships, but I struggle to find a circle of women where I live, because I live very rural. There's not a lot of people that are like-minded and weird like me. Okay. So no woman thrives alone. Surrounding yourself with supportive, inspiring women is just so crucial for empowerment. Sharing your story is so important. Wisdom and encouragement helps you and others step into your highest self. We can support each other. We could encourage each other. I think it's a critical time in our lives for having a strong, supportive relationships with other women. We need the support as we transform into something else. We feel unsteady during this transformation, and having these support systems right in place are so important. So if you don't have that support, definitely go out and find some like-minded women like you. I do this all the time. I'm always looking for new groups to get involved in, volunteer work, whatever. I've definitely met some wonderful people. They're out there right now looking for you. I promise this, because I talk to so many women who are like, I just want to find someone that wants to do the same things as me and blah, blah. So everybody's looking for somebody to add to their circle. They're just trying to find that, authentic connection. I think we spend a lot of our time connecting to other women that are just aligned with other areas in our life. As for example, we connect with women because we have children and they have children, and then there's a play date, and then you're, before you know it, you're hanging out with this person, but you have nothing else in common, right? And you don't realize that until the children grow and they go off to college, and then you're with this person. You're like, why am I friends with this person? There's, things like that happen. So as you get older, I think it's really hard to find and connect with somebody who really is, like-minded. But the best way that you can attract that into your life is by being your authentic self. You step into your weirdness, and your fellow weirdos will find you. So, tip: schedule a regular time with friends. And yeah, I definitely would say schedule this, join a women's group. I did that. Celebrate growth, creativity, feminine solidarity. We need that. Remember, the power of community amplifies the individual. It amplifies your confidence too. So don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and make new friends. Do the things that you love and you'll meet the people who love the same things. It's really that simple. And I have something next week that I'll be sharing in my blog that will support this. It's very exciting. So I'm not going to talk about it right now, but next week I have something and that's supportive of like women and groups. So number 5, engage in lifelong learning. I think this is so important. So before I started really going deep into coaching, I've been a part-time coach for a really long time. I think since I'm trying to remember, 2015, I think it was when I got my first like coaching certification. But I wasn't full-time. I did it like part-time on the side and I sold real estate. And I also had a dog business. And some of you know that, some of you don't, like dog watching, walking, sitting. And I also had a dog business my daughter had a dog business down in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I did that with her. It was a lot of fun working with her. We were extremely busy, but we got shut down during COVID and completely put out of business. But that's a whole nother podcast, right? So anyway, I remember I had this client and she was in her 80s and she actually was not my favorite person. She was a little judgmental and among other things. But one of the things that impressed me about her was that she was so eager to learn and there just wasn't a lot of opportunities for her. I think she was 87. Hold on, I need another sip here of my tea. But she was for 87, she got around really well. She was so sharp. And I think that her lifelong love of learning contributed to this. So I think that when you're in this phase of life, it's definitely a chance to explore new passions and interests. You know, like a lot of times when we're moving into this phase of life, our kids are like have their own lives. We have a lot more independence than we had during those years when we were raising our kids. And even if we weren't raising kids, we might have been focused on a career. And then maybe now you're thinking more about retirement. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, a lot of times at this point in our life, we have some space for new passions and interests. And lifelong learning keeps your mind sharp. It like fuels your creativity and it kind of like opens up new opportunities for you. Like it opens up new ways for you to express yourself, whether it's like a new language, maybe it's art. I see a lot of women pursuing art. It's something they always wanted to do and didn't have the time for, and they step into that. I've done that myself and I enjoy it so much. Or sometimes a course, personal development. Growth doesn't stop at any age. Like I think there's only one time when you should stop learning, and that's when you're dead. Okay? That's it. That's the way I feel. This may be very blunt, but it's true. Keep learning, keep moving, and it keeps your mind and your body inspired. I remember hearing the saying that if you keep moving, they can't throw dirt on you, meaning you're not going to die. I don't know how true that is, but I always thought it was kind of funny. So a little tip, pick one new skill or hobby every few months. This helps inspire us, empower us, and it creates like alignment with yourself. It's, you know, even if it doesn't work out and you end up not liking it, just trying new things. I remember listening to this podcast a while ago, and there was this man being interviewed. I don't remember who it was, but he was doing like this little experiment where he would learn something new every 30 days. So he would pick it, and then he would go deep dive into it for 30 days, and then he would pick something new. And he just kept doing this for the whole year, and it changed his whole life. And I think that's a very cool experiment, and it was very inspiring to me. But yeah, it if anything, it creates like that joyful sense of curiosity that you had when you were younger, and I love that feeling. Okay, so moving forward, I I talked about this at the beginning, supporting each other. It's kind of like the ultimate power move for women right now, okay? It's the most profound practice that we could use moving forward is to support other women with every ounce of your being. Okay, when we lift each other up, we create this like ripple effect of empowerment, wisdom, confidence, and it benefits everyone. It doesn't just benefits the women at our age, this wise woman phase, but it benefits all the women that are coming after us. It supports them. We need to step into this wise woman phase and share our knowledge, our experience with everybody, and support all the other women doing the same thing. The world needs more wise women, and they need, they're there. They're just not all stepping out into their power. And encouraging them and supporting them and offering mentorship and building friendships with them can really inspire like a whole generation. And I think that is something that we really need in the world right now. So stepping into your wise woman phase is not just a celebration of you moving forward. It's what we need as women. It gives us confidence and a radiance. It's about living fully and being that strong, capable, woman that's embracing her wisdom and her experience and kind of cultivating that comfort in your own skin. And by honoring this, by honoring your natural beauty, your body and your mind, and building these meaningful connections with other women doing the same thing and supporting them and supporting the women who don't feel like they can, to bring them out with us and carry them with us, you create like a whole era of power, okay? You create clarity and joy, not just for yourself, but everybody around you. So this is your time to step into this is your calling right now. This is me calling you out. Step into your wise woman era with grace, confidence, and alignment, aligned with yourself and the way you live your life. The world is definitely in need and waiting for your wisdom. So also, I just want to remind everyone, I have a special going on right now. If you're ready to go deeper into your self-care journey, I'm going to invite you to join me in the Soul Aligned Self-Care Intensive, which is an online program. It's self-guided, but right now, if you join during the month of August, you'll receive 3 private 30-minute sessions to help guide you through the course. And this offer is only good until August 31st. And I will put the link to the intensive in the show notes. So if you're interested in doing like a really deep dive into self-care, that is the place to do it. Okay, that's all for today. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new one. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps get the show in front of more people who might need this type of support. And if you're ready to take your everyday self-care even deeper, come join us inside the Soul Aligned Life Patreon. Every week, you'll get new self-care practices and tools to help reduce stress and overwhelm. Plus, we do a monthly reset to keep you aligned and supported always. You'll find the link in the show notes, and I'd love to see you there. Until next time, be sure to take good care of yourself. Love you. Bye.